The vastness of space. Oh man, what kind of horrors might await us, fragile little humans out there. I'm quite good at imagining things, as you can see in my sketchbook, and so I thought, okay, let's imagine some more and see what I can come up with, what kinds of cosmic little horrors might await us, fragile humans out there. And I got the idea for this drawing not too long ago when I dug up an old drawing of mine, which is still one of my favorite drawings. I've posted it on Instagram. My Instagram is linked in the description. There's a lot of stuff that you don't see on YouTube, so definitely go check that out. And I started out this drawing like any other drawing of mine, by just sketching out the basic proportions, the basic forms. And yeah, the main focus of this drawing is just to have fun with imagination and practicing my shading a little bit also. But, you know, yeah, it's not 100% anatomically correct, of course. But that's not the point of this. This is just to have fun. And way too often I, get way too stiff with everything. It's like, oh, I can't do this or I can't do that because that's not realistic, or this does not look right, or the proportions are off, or this or that. And so it's nice to once in a while give yourself the freedom to do what you want and just have fun with your creativity and just bring to paper what's in your head, or in this case what's on your head. Just bring to paper what you imagine and then see where it takes you. And after that is out of the way, I'm just having fun with it. Drawing the suit, drawing the little alien brain catcher, I'm gonna call it. The brain catcher, yeah, that's a good name, isn't it? And yeah, and just playing around with this one a little bit, also playing a little bit with perspective, and just trying that. Yeah, having some fun with the suit, adding some wrinkles, adding some equipment here and there. Again, I have no idea what's really on an astronaut suit, and what all of those things are that I'm drawing. I'm just trying to make it look like an astronaut suit, and when people look at this drawing and they see, hey, that's an astronaut, I've won. Like, I'm 100% cool. This is what my goal was, and I achieved it, so hell yeah. And drawing his head, I had so much fun, like with this like dead, stiff, zombie-like expression, and you can really see, he's rolling his eye up, or at least the one eye that's still functioning. He's rolling that up, like, something's digging around in his brain. And yeah, that's exactly what I want to portray is happening here. So I did fiddle around a ton with the design of this thing, with this little brain catcher that I'm calling it. Man, I don't know. It just turned out to... First of all, I wanted it to have eyes in the beginning, but then I thought, okay, I have the eyes of the astronaut, or at least the, again, last functioning eye of the astronaut. And then there's another giant eye right above it. I don't know, that would maybe be too much, might be a little bit too distracting. And I thought about what I heard in a documentary about Alien, the original Alien from 1976, the Alien movie. One of my favorite movies of all time. Absolutely love it. And where they talked about the design by H.R. Giger, who designed the Alien. And his design was, I think, the only one that didn't have eyes. Like the Alien, obviously the xenomorph that we all know and love, has no eyes. And that makes it a little bit extra scary, and I try to sort of make this thing, how can I say, it's meaner in a way if it doesn't have eyes, because it's just some creature in the end, right? It doesn't have a personality, it doesn't have expression of feelings, or it doesn't have an expression. It's just it's just that, and some sort of organism, and that's what I like about it. It's just floating around there in space, and pretty fast, actually. I think those things can become really fast. Yeah, that's what I imagine. And then, you might have an unsuspecting victim, and boom, it latches onto your head and digs its little tentacles right inside your skull and starts slurping your brain like some sort of, I don't know, slushy. Like a warm human brain slushy. Isn't that delicious? Favorite part of the process, or second favorite part actually, and that is shading everything. Second favorite because it's so tedious and it takes a lot of effort, and you need to translate what you've already drawn with graphite pencil sort of a little bit better, and you need to be more precise with your lines and really decide what is going to end up at the finished drawing and what is not. So that's why it's the second most fun. But it's of course also cool because you see your drawing, your drawing becoming alive, in a sense. Yeah, the most fun I definitely have with the penciling phase, when you can just go crazy and try out different things, and yeah. But I try to have as much fun, again, with this being very loose, I try to have as much fun with the inking phase as with the penciling phase, and just not taking my lines too seriously, and not too serious, and just having fun with it. And it's so awesome to see how this drawing comes together when the shading gets a little bit more clear and everything is shaded in. So yeah, one of my favorite parts of this particular drawing was to ink the background, and I'm using some Lamy ink. I know, waste of money. Lamy ink is very expensive. I think Lamy ink is very expensive. I know, but I didn't have any other ink. But it dried great, and it left a nice solid color foundation. Not like some other inks that might be a little bit lighter on certain areas and then darker on others. So yeah, I liked it about it. And yeah, last step is to take out some acrylic paint, which did work out great on the Lamy ink, because it dried slightly washed out almost. It didn't dry as light as a Sprite as I laid it down, which meant that the tones were more muted, and I could do some of those little swirls, like you see the galaxies and the planets here in the background, the stars. I could do some swirls for the galaxies and really emphasize him being out there in space somewhere, and I really like that. And the stars, I was worried that the stars are going to be too bright and they're going to be too much and too distracting from what is going on there. So I'm glad that the acrylic paint dried very muted and didn't distract as much from the main drawing. Okay everybody, this is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. Check out my Instagram. It's linked on my channel. It's linked in the description. And yeah, subscribe, like the video if you enjoyed it. I hope I'll see you around on the channel. Okay? Take care.